Good afternoon and welcome to Pocatello, Idaho, Big Sky Conference basketball action this afternoon from Reed Gymnasium. I'm Scott Gross. This is Taylor Fitzgerald, and we're glad to have you along this afternoon. And for those of you listening in locally, you might have caught the tail end of our national anthem sung today by a former Idaho State Bengal, Buck Chavez. And his son, Luke, is a grad assistant for the Vandals. Let's take a look at our Jeremiah Johnson Brewing Company keys to the game this afternoon. And pretty simple for Idaho State. They just want to keep it rolling. The Bengals, Taylor, have won 3 straight conference games here at home. They really need to make it 4 in a row today.
Most definitely, and they seem to play really good when they got their home crowd behind them, so definitely an advantage for them today, and hopefully they can keep it rolling and take advantage of it right here.
And for the Vandals, well, they triple the fun. They are one of the top 3-point shooting teams in the Big Sky Conference as they lead the conference in 3-point attempts per game, averaging almost 27 a game, and made 3-point field goals at 9.4 per contest. So obviously the pressure is going to be on Idaho State to defend the perimeter.
Yeah, most definitely. The Vandals, like you said, not afraid to take that 3-point shot, and they'll rely on it. So it's going to be an adjustment for the Bengals and see how they can defend against it.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for this afternoon as Idaho State comes in with a record of 9-10. They are 4-4 in Big Sky Conference play. The Idaho Vandals are 10-12, and they are 5-4. In Big Sky Conference play. Both teams coming off wins on Thursday night, as we mentioned. So a lot on the line here because right now Idaho is in the 4 spot. Idaho State and NAU are tied for the 5 spot. The top 6 get buys in the conference tournament, which starts in about 5 weeks.
Yeah, that bye in the first round can really be the difference in the tournament run. So really important game right here, and it's going to kind of, dictate the rest of the way the season goes after this one here.
Well, again, let's take a look at the starting lineups this afternoon as the Vandals visit the Bengals. And for the University of Idaho, we believe it's going to be Tyler Maruss. He's a 6'7" forward out of Bothell, Washington. Leads the conference in three-point shooting percentage. Jack Payne, we talked about him. He is a 6'6" redshirt sophomore out of Owyhee High School in Boise, Idaho. Then Christian Gonzalez from Chula Vista, California, 6'3" sophomore guard. It'll be Colton Mitchell at the point, the 6'1" redshirt freshman out of Coeur d'Alene, former Idaho State Bengal last year. And then Kyson Rose, the 6'9", 245-pound senior forward out of Kennewick, Washington. And for your Idaho State, for the Idaho State Bengals, it will be Dylan Darling starting at the point. He is a redshirt freshman out of Spokane. Then Jake O'Neill out of Fruitland, Idaho, a 6'4" guard. Connor Hollenbeck from Rapid City, South Dakota, a 6'7" forward, a graduate student. Isaiah Griffin, 6'6" forward out of Knightdale, North Carolina. And the man in the middle, the 6'11" redshirt freshman from Redmond, Oregon, number 30, that is Evan Otten. Head coach of the Bengals is Ryan Looney. Head coach of the Vandals is Alex Pribble in his second year. Our officials today are Chad Shepard, Ray Ames, and Ben Cartmel. And it's going to be Julius Mims. And I think I misspoke when I said Rose. It was Julius Mims going to get the start in place of Rose. So Julius Mims, North Idaho College transfer, playing his second year with the Vandals. He controls the tip, and we are underway here. Bengals in their white uniforms. It's a whiteout day here at Reed Gymnasium for the local fans. Orange and black trim for the Bengal uniforms. The Vandals, as they go inside. Evan Otten tried to get the dunk, and he drew the foul. Vandals in their all-black uniforms and with the gold numerals, and they're going to get a foul right away, and that's going to go on Jack Payne as Evan Otten attacked the glass. Nice pass from up on top. And Evan Otten, a 50% free throw shooter on the year. So just 19 seconds in, Evan Otten toes the line, and Idaho State gets the first points of the day here on an ICCU free throw. Idaho Central Credit Union contributing $5 to student athletes at ISU with every made free throw this year. And here is the second, and a good sign as Evan Otten gets up there and confidently strokes a pair.
I was going to say, not a bad way to start. And like you said, he's shooting with confidence from that free throw line, get the Bengals going here.
He was 1 of 2 on Thursday night. Here's Payne out on top to Mims. Mims gives it back. That's Christian Gonzalez. They lob it inside, and Julius Mims gets the easy deuce to tie the game at 2. And that's what they like to do with Mims. Lob it and let him lay it in.
Yeah, and you can see that he's an athletic kid, so being able to get up and go right to the basket is something that he's going to try to do every time.
Jake O'Neill, they whip it out on top, go back to the angle right. Here is Connor Hollenbeck trying to attack, bring it back out, 10 to shoot. It's going to be Gonzalez on Darling, and Dylan Darling's fadeaway jump shot good. And that's a good sign when you see that kind of shot go down for Dylan Darling. Bengals are going to feel good about that.
Dylan Darling, again, coming off a career night last time against Eastern Washington Miss. He had 29 points and 9 rebounds, so looking to see him continue the momentum over here against the Vandals.
Here's Colton Mitchell. He'll give it off to Maruss. Maruss drives inside, and he banks it off the glass over Jake O'Neill. Bengals back on the attack quickly as Dylan Darling comes up the right side. Give it to O'Neill. Now it's going to be Isaiah Griffin handing it back. Swinging again through the top and got a whistle away from the basketball. And going to have a foul on Evan Otten with an illegal screen. So Evan with his first personal, Bengals first team foul, and that'll be the first turnover of the basketball game. So tied at 4, Bengals have it, or the Vandals, I should say, have a chance to take their first lead of the day. Jack Payne will throw it in to Colton Mitchell. Got to talk to Colton before the game, and as much as I would love to see him in, as being with the Bengals last year, as folks would like to see him here, he is extremely happy and has had some big games for the Vandals this year. He had a career-high 32-point output at Pacific back in December. Shot missed,
points.
And here comes Dylan Darling. He'll spin on the baseline, got Gonzalez in the air, and then Jack Payne intercepts the pass. So 2 trips down the floor for Idaho State, and they have turned it over both times. Here is Payne, drives down the left side of the lane, kicks to the far side corner. That's Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez scored 7 of the last 12 points for Idaho in their 2-point win at home against Idaho State last year in February. Here's Jack Payne. Inside they go. Julius Mims trying to body his way up. That's a tough move. And Evan Otten had that first foul. He had to kind of back off a little bit there. And Mims able to give the Vandals their first lead of the day at 6-4.
Again, you saw Mims right under the basket. They were able to just feed it right to him, and he was able to get around Evan Otten there and give the Vandals the lead.
Here's Jake O'Neal, and they're going to have a blocking foul on the baseline as Jake drove down there, and that's going to go on Julius Mims with his first. So both big men, Mims for the Vandals and Otten for the Bengals, have picked up a foul here in the first 2.5 minutes. So Kyson Rose now makes his first appearance. We thought he would be the starter this afternoon. He has been battling some injuries and some other things, but Kyson Rose, healthy and playing today. The big redhead out of Kennewick, Washington, I should say. Idaho State with 10 to shoot here. Darling dribbles around the center circle. Crossover move, stops, right elbow, feeds it inside. Jackson Green just into the game. Can't get the shot to go, but he will go to the free throw line as they get the foul, and that's going to go on Tyler Maruss, and that's his third. And here's a replay on that, and yeah, Maruss definitely got him up on the arm. So for Idaho State, Jackson Green, one of those guys you want to see at the free throw line on a regular basis. He is an 84% free throw shooter. And makes the first one here, and Idaho State, another ICCU free throw. They've hit their first 3 in a row here to start the game. Good crowd this afternoon. I'm telling you, I think we're going to be better than that 12:42 on Thursday night as Jackson Green knocks down a pair, and it's a 6-6 ball game.
I agree with you there, Scott. I think with a Saturday afternoon game, we're going to get a good turnout here today.
16:50 to go and nearly a steal, and now it might be stolen as Jackson Green comes away with the loose ball, goes in, score the bucket. Jackson Green. It was Connor Hollenbeck who created the havoc. The ball popped free, and then there's going to be a foul as well as Jackson Green capitalizes on the loose ball, lays it up, and they're going to get Kyson Rose with that foul. So let's see here as Kyson Rose with his first. That's now 4 on the Vandals, and a 3-point play opportunity here for Jackson Green. And Jackson has scored the last 5 points for Idaho State. Bengals have their biggest lead of the day of 3 at 9-6. Mitchell front court, hands off to Gonzalez. Gonzalez to Payne, top of the circle. He'll work at 22 feet. Stop the dribble, turn it over. Here comes Isaiah Griffin the other way. Griffin has his shot blocked, though, by Jack Payne. Great effort by the Owyhee Storm high school graduate. Gonzalez puts up a 3 that was wide to the left side, barely caught iron. Hollenbeck back on the attack for Idaho State. Bengals looking to capitalize early. Pinned up, bring it back out, right wing. Swing it over to the left angle now to Isaiah Griffin. Back to O'Neal to Darling. Darling, 3, no. And the rebound fought for, and I think that was touched last. No. Isaiah Griffin off his fingers. It looked like maybe Jack Payne, but not the case.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to tell down there, but like you said, goes off of ISU. Ball will go back to the Vandals.
16 minutes, 2 seconds as we've played 4 minutes plus here. And the Bengals lead it 9-6. And getting the basketball, driving the baseline is Jack Payne, and there's going to be a foul, a blocking foul, I believe, on Connor Hollenbeck. And we've got a media timeout. So with 15:49 to go here in the first half, it's Idaho State 9, the Idaho Vandals 6. We're back after this timeout on KISU-FM and ESPN+.
Follow up after that career-high night against Eastern Washington.
Financial support for Bengal athletics comes from Project Filter, reminding listeners that smoking and vaping increase the severity of respiratory diseases, including COVID-19. You can get more information at projectfilter.org. Vandals inbound. Bengals on defense here as Colton Mitchell gets the pass back, penetrates, puts up the floater, and it's good. And Colton Mitchell, that's what he can do. He can get to the bucket and score. And the Vandals now want to make them 4 of 6 from the floor for 67%. Here's Jake O'Neal, baseline, pinned up, kicks it out, angle left, Darling. Comes back now to Griffin, Isaiah Griffin. And Blake Daberco tried to fire a pass across the lane from the baseline, had it tipped, and another giveaway by Idaho State. That will be their 3rd turnover of the day, but the Vandals have turned it over twice as well. So Blake Daberco makes his first appearance of the afternoon for Idaho State. Played about 10 minutes, I think it was, on Thursday night. His parents, Kurt and Patty, made the trip from the Lincoln, Nebraska area. And Colton Mitchell tried to go with a finger roll and left it short. Bengals get the rebound. And as they lead at 9-8, they look to add to that. Isaiah Griffin in the corner. He'll stop. Pulled up his dribble in a bad spot. Needs some help. Jake O'Neal pops out. On the top. Now dribbles down to the three-point line on that angle right. Just inside the line. Going against Maruss. And again, pinned up and the ball tipped out of bounds. Bengals, one thing I can see from the Vandals, they are really trying to trap Idaho State. When they get on that baseline, they're dropping the double team and trying to really create some havoc. Yeah, not a lot of options right there for Jake O'Neal to pass to. As you mentioned, Scott, they double teamed him, and so ball goes out of bounds, but stays with the Bengals. Inbounds comes to the backcourt to Isaiah Griffin, down to 5 to shoot. Isaiah pulls up his first jumper of the day off the back iron, but there's Jake O'Neal, one of the top rebounders in the country, with an offensive rebound for Idaho State, and they get a second chance here. Darling stops his dribble, top of the circle, guarded out there by Tyler Lindhart, who has checked into the game. Jake O'Neal from the near side corner, and O'Neal knocks down the first Mountain America Credit Union three-point field goal for Idaho State, and they are up 12-8 here. Lindhart, he's a good one for the Vandals. Junior out of Seattle, 6'7" forward. As they'll get it out on top to Mims. Now Maruss. Maruss, ball poked away momentarily. 5 to shoot for Idaho. Colton Mitchell. Here is a deep three ball for Colton Mitchell off the mark, and that ball tipped out of bounds by Julius Mims. And that kind of shot right there. A week ago last Thursday night, Colton Mitchell basically took an inbounds pass, drove the length of the floor down 2, and from the top of the circle, kind of a leaning three ball, splashed it to give Northern Colorado their first Big Sky Conference loss. So Colton Mitchell has got big-time range, but that last one came up short. Otten back in. Bengals up by 4. Dylan Darling handles the basketball. He'll work on the angle left. Mims jumped out there. Here's A.J. Bergen with his first appearance of the afternoon. Back to Darling. Here is a three ball. That circles in and out. No. Mims clears the carom, and he'll get it on the outlet as they bring it up the floor. Tyler Lindhart driving all the way in. Shot not good. JoJo Anderson also has checked into that Vandal lineup. They're going to get the foul on Jackson Green with his first personal. Third Idaho State team foul. So Connor Hollenbeck back in. Jackson Green comes out. Darling, Bergen, O'Neal, Hollenbeck, Otten on the floor for the white-clad Idaho State Bengals. Maruss, Mims, Lindhart, Anderson, and Mitchell into the paint. Lindhart got Evan Otten in the air, and Evan Otten is going to pick up his second foul, and that's going to take care of Evan Otten for a little while here in the first half. Good move there, and that's just a veteran player with the up fake and the redshirt freshman bit. Yep, exactly like you were saying. Veteran experience there, and redshirt freshman, not a lot of experience, but he'll learn as he gets going. He's done a really good job this season. So, but like you said, veteran move right there. It really was. Tyler Lindhart, he started 6 of the 23 games for the Vandals last season. He is a 79, almost 80% free throw shooter, and he will shoot 2 here. Vandals down 12-10, and our make it just shoot the one because he got the bucket. I apologize. He did get the bucket, so it was the three-point play opportunity. First free throw of the day for the Vandals, and the Idaho State lead is down to 1. Here is Daberco, handles top of the circle. Hollenbeck reverses back. A.J. Bergen, near side three ball, no. Jake O'Neal battles for the rebound, and they're going to say Jake had it but landed on the inline, so the ball will go to the Idaho Vandals. Jake O'Neal is really just a rebounding machine. He's averaging 10.5 rebounds a game, so he's a good option for the Bengals down there for the rebounds for sure. He really is. I mean, Jake O'Neal is just something else, the way he works at 6'4". Here's JoJo Anderson. Looked to drive inside the arc. Now a double team on Maruss. The ball went to the floor, but Maruss able to get it back for the Vandals. Bounce pass, top of the circle, 22 feet straight out for Mims. Bring it over. Here is a right wing three ball, left short by Lindhart. Bengals had nobody there to rebound it. Now they'll reverse it back out, come back out to Marust, down on the baseline near side for Linhart. Jake O'Neal on him. 10 to shoot. Bengals playing some good defense. Linhart turns off the glass too hard. Hollenbeck flies in to get that rebound, and Idaho State pushes it up the floor, left wing side. Hollenbeck keeps the dribble alive. Spin move, double team comes. They reverse it back. Far side, Jake O'Neal. He'll drive to the baseline. Bergen thought about a three, now steps back and knocks it down. A.J. Bergen with his first MACU three-pointer of the year. And A.J. now 29 of 64 from downtown. And the Bengals back up by 4 at 15-11.
Definitely want to get him going early. As you mentioned, he played such a pivotal role in that game against Eastern Washington, so keep him shooting with confidence.
Here's Julius Mims with it. They're going to bring it back out. Isaiah Brickner, who has just started getting some time of late for the Vandals, has checked in. Here's Marust. His three ball back iron, not close, a little bit long, and another rebound for Jake O'Neal. Dylan Darling trying to attack on JoJo Anderson. Instead, reverses it. They'll go right wing side. Hollenbeck, couple of dribbles inside the three-point line. Feed it back to Bergen. Here is a baseline jump shot, a little bit too long for Hollenbeck. A.J. Bergen trying to keep that alive. Ryan Looney wanted a foul underneath on that rebound try. JoJo Anderson, he'll lob it up, and that's a dunk by Julius Mims. Mims got 6 points so far, and Julius is off to a good start. And as we've said, when he's in there, you have to watch the lob every possession.
I was just going to say, again, they went with the lob play, and Mims right there again, able to get 2 points for the Vandals.
Blake Daberco thought about a right elbow jump shot. Flip it over to Bergen. Now on the left block to Jake O'Neal. He spins into a double team. Reverse it back. Darling left open. The three ball off the mark, no. And here come the Vandals with Isaiah Brickner leading the charge. Brickner picked up by Daberco, kicks it out. Linhart up fake after a three. Now Brickner drives down to that right block, spinning in, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Jake O'Neal took the charge. Isaiah Brickner will pick up his first foul. That'll be a turnover. And let's take a quick look at the replay before we go to a timeout here. And yeah, pretty clear. And so, with 9:52 remaining first half, we've got a good one in Pocatello. It's Idaho State by 2 over Idaho. We're back after this timeout on KISU-FM and ESPN.
Some looking trophy, so I know if I were them, I definitely want to be taking that home with me.
Got some good shooting here for the Vandals. They are started out 6 of 13 here for 46.2%, but they're 0 of 5 from beyond the arc. Idaho State just 4 of 11 overall for 36%, but they've hit 2 out of 6 from 3 and 5 of 5 from the free throw line. Idaho's got 12 points in the paint to the Bengals 2 here early. And there's a chance for 2 more, but the shot rims out as Dylan Darling drives off the wing, picks up the foul, and that's going to go to Kyson Rose, and that's the second on Rose, and that's already 6 on Idaho. So with 9:41 to go here, Idaho State will be in the bonus the remainder of this half. And Dylan Darling, another one of those guys that Bengal fans like to see at the free throw line on the season, 81%. And 1 of 1 today. Idaho State is now a perfect 6 of 6 on those ICCU free throws. Idaho Central Credit Union donating $5 to student athletes at Idaho State with every Bengal made free throw this year. Got a new man into the game as well, Takai Hardy for the Idaho Vandals. Jack Payne back out there. Colton Mitchell back out there. As both free throws knocked down by Dylan Darling, and the lead extends back to 4 at 17-13. That's been the biggest Bengal lead of the day as Colton Mitchell works out on top. A little crossover, step back, 3-ball good. Colton Mitchell. And I'll tell you what, this kid is going to be something special as his career goes on. He's just a redshirt freshman. He did play 10 games for Idaho State last year before an injury sidelined him for the rest of the year, and then went into the portal, transferred to be closer to home, and it's paid off. Here is a skip pass near side. 3-ball. Good. That's A.J. Bergen. He's got another MACU three-pointer. Mountain America Credit Union supports ISU athletics as they guide their members through life's financial journey, and they donate $50 to Operation Warm in East Idaho for each Bengal three-pointer this year. Here's Payne trying to answer, and he does. Jack Payne's first field goal of the day. And it back to a 1-point Idaho State lead at 20-19 with 8:40 remaining in the first half. Already a better offensive effort by both teams here in the first half today.
Yeah, as we mentioned, the Vandals hit their last 2-3 shots after not being able to hit one before the timeout, excuse me.
So it'll be Dylan Darling, 8 to shoot, working against Mitchell. Kick, corner, Hollenbeck with a catch. Connor trying to drive against Linhart. Brings it back out. Jake O'Neal's left wing three-ball is off the mark. The rebound tipped, and that was kept alive by Hardy. And now Idaho with a chance to take their second lead of the day. Colton Mitchell, a little pocket pass. They're going to bring it out over here to the near side to JoJo Anderson. He wants to drive against Bergen. Gets all the way down on the baseline. Nothing there. Jack Payne. He'll drive down the lane. Hanging shot over Jake O'Neal. Contact comes. Jake O'Neal will get personal foul number 1. 5th Bengal team foul. And that will take us to the under 8-minute timeout. 7:56 to go in Pocatello in the first half. And there is Bengals head coach Ryan Looney. He is actually in his 6th year as the head coach here at Idaho State with a record of 62 wins, 104 losses. But his career, he's now going for career win 393 today. He's coached in 630 games as a head coach with a winning percentage of 62.2%. Bengals getting out rebounded here early on, 8-7, as Jack Payne toes the line for the first time today for the Vandals. He makes his first free throw, makes them both, and the Vandals have gone back out on top here, 21-20. Idaho State's got 7 rebounds, only 1 on the offensive glass thus far. Payne now jumps out on Darling. Connor Hollenbeck cutting into the paint as Isaiah Griffin and Jackson Green couldn't handle the pass from Isaiah. I think Ryan Looney wanted Isaiah to put that shot up.
I think so as well. He kind of motioned after the play was over to take that shot. So
Colton Mitchell will bring it into the front court. Vandals up 21-20. Jack Payne works the dribble. Jackson Green keeps an eye on him. Drives down the lane. Stops at the right block. Back to the basket. Comes back out to Christian Gonzalez. Gonzalez looking for a high screen from Mims. Now hands it to Julius. They want to get it to Mitchell, but instead have to settle for Tyler Linhart. Linhart gets into the paint. And there's a shot clock violation, and the Idaho State Bengal defense has stood the test here.
Really nice job right there by the defense, making the shot clock run out, and ball will go back to the Bengals.
When you take your eyes away from driving for just 2 seconds, you have traveled the length of a basketball court without seeing the road. The Idaho Transportation Department reminds us to just drive and avoid distractions. This Towards Zero Deaths message brought to you by the Idaho Transportation Department. There is Dylan Darling trying to hit the 3-ball. The putback tipped up, missed by Connor Hollenbeck, but it goes off of one of the Vandals, and it will stay with Idaho State down there on the left baseline. Checking back into the game, Tyler Maruss. And let's check the replay here. And you can see that tip up by Hollenbeck. Yeah, and it just went right off of Tyler Linhart.
Yep.
So the Bengals inbound into the backcourt to Isaiah Griffin as they've got a new 20-second shot clock. It's down to 14. Darling sizing up Christian Gonzalez out on top, looking for a screen from Jackson Green. Here is Connor Hollenbeck, his 3-ball off the mark, but the long rebound, well, could not be controlled. Now it gets knocked free. Jake O'Neal tracks it down. Here's Darling. He's got numbers, goes to the bucket. No foul called. Rebound Jackson Green. Isaiah Griffin missed the putback, gets his own rebound, powers it up again. That won't go, but he drew the foul, and he'll go to the line. And the Bengals crashing the offensive glass now.
Yep. Again, Jake O'Neal with another rebound, able to keep that ball over there for the Bengals as they fought for it right there, as we're seeing on the replay here.
Yeah, that second attempt, actually both of those shots for Isaiah Griffin rimmed around and fell out. They could just as easily have gone in. But as it is, the senior out of North Carolina, Knightdale, North Carolina to be exact, keeps the Bengals perfect from the line as he's hit another ICCU free throw here. And Isaiah 62% on the year. And here comes the second attempt, and that one popcorns out of there. So we're tied at 21, fourth tie of the day. 6 minutes, 15 seconds left as Colton Mitchell hits the front court, and he hears a chorus of boos as he comes to the front court, much as we heard Miguel Tomley receive when he visited with Weber State earlier. Here's Mims, Gonzalez. He'll dribble off the left wing. Now bring it out to Maruss. Back out between the rings now down the left side is Christian Gonzalez. Hangs in the paint. The jumper good. Christian Gonzalez, tough shot. First field goal of the day, and the Vandals go back up by 2.
Tough shot, but an athletic shot right there from Gonzalez.
Matches their biggest lead of the day. Idaho State with the ball. Jumper, no. Rebound ripped out of there by Jack Payne, and he'll push it ahead. He's got Dylan Darling lobbing it, and a huge flush by Julius Mims, who's got 8 points, and I think 6 of the 8 have come on flushes. And I'll tell you, Ryan Looney's got a point there. Mims kind of hung on the rim, and Ryan Looney was looking for the technical foul. So a 4-point Idaho lead at 25-21. Here's Jackson Green. He'll hand it to Dylan Darling. Darling, kick it over Jake O'Neal. Fake right, drive left, into the paint, dump it off underneath. A hack job as Jackson Green gets hammered by Jack Payne. And for Jack Payne, that's his second. And this will be 2 shots here as the Bengals are in the bonus. That's the 8th team foul on the Vandals. So Ryan Looney is saying, hey, he wanted the flagrant foul there, and the official, and I'm not sure which one is which, whose name goes with which face, saying, hey, you can have us review it and request it, but it's going to cost you a timeout. Do you want to do it? And Ryan said no, as Jackson Green steps up there and knocks down another ICCU free throw. Jackson perfect on the day at 4 for 4. He's got 6 points, 6 of the Bengals' 22. Make it 7 of their 23 as he hits a pair of ICCU free throws. We approach 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Bengals trail by 2 at 25-23. Colton Mitchell, little scissor dribble on top, gets a screen from Mims. Trying to go with a little pick and roll, whip it over, and the pass stolen by Connor Hollenbeck. Hollenbeck to Isaiah Griffin, lay it up and in. Isaiah Griffin with his first field goal, and we're tied at 25. Bengals on a mini 4-0 run. And Darling really defending Colton Mitchell right in front of our broadcast position here. Mims, Mitchell, that 3-ball was tipped and blocked partially by Isaiah Griffin. Up the floor, they go to Isaiah. He's got the smaller Mitchell on him. Got to be smart here. Bengals will reset. Here's Darling, 3-ball, bang! Dylan Darling from downtown with another MACU 3-pointer. It's a 7-0 Idaho State run, and Alex Pribble has seen enough.
What a great run by the Bengals right there.
So it'll be Tyler Maruss, Christian Gonzalez, Takai Hardy, Colton Mitchell, and who's on the far side over there? That's Isaiah Brickner back in for the Vandals. Out on top with it, Christian Gonzalez gets into the paint, drives inside, brings it back out. Here's Maruss. Boy, the Bengals have run him off the 3-point line pretty well today. He does have 1 field goal, but just a 2. Mitchell, drive, kick, corner 3, rims out, no. A.J. Bergen gets the rebound for Idaho State. Bengals run. Jackson Green up the floor, missed the layup, though. It was a little off balance. I don't think he was quite expecting that. Spinning inside and missing the shot was Isaiah Brickner. The ball fought for and goes out of bounds off of the Vandals. And now you see Jackson Green and Dylan Darling talking about that last play up the floor. Jackson just wasn't quite looking for that pass.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't think he was expecting that to get that pass from Darling. And same thing happened on the other side here, not able to make the layup for the Vandals, and ball will go back to the Bengals.
So it'll be Jackson Green taking a seat as Blake Daberco checks back in here for Ryan Looney and the Idaho State Bengals. 3:35 to go first half. Idaho State up 28-25 over the Vandals of the University of Idaho. Here is Isaiah Griffin. Finds Dylan Darling. Comes off a screen from Daberco. Feeds it underneath. Blake Daberco reversed the layup. Good. And Blake Daberco with his first points of the weekend gives Idaho State their biggest lead of the day of 5 points.
Great feed right there by Darling to Davenco to get the points.
Inside they go, Maruss. Good defense by Hollenbeck. What a great job on that right block. Down to 10 to shoot for the Vandals. Out on top they go with Hardy. Hardy wants to drive, cut off, kick back. Brickner into the paint, puts up a tough leaner, won't go. A.J. Bergen cannot save the rebound, goes into the front row of the jungle. Down here on the right baseline. And coming out of there is Hardy. Back in is Julius Mims.
What a cool name, the Jungle.
Yeah, I know.
That's so awesome.
Well, you've got the Muss, right, at the University of Utah.
Yep.
You've got the Herd, right, at Utah State. And we're going to review this to see. And I think, I don't know if they're checking time on this review or exactly what they may be looking at.
I agree with you there. They've been really able to do it on defense, which I think is such a key part of their game. And we knew we were going to get a good one here, so it has not disappointed.
They have to feel good to have a 5-point lead and shooting just about 35% from the floor. So they're going to put 1.6 on the clock. It'll be Vandal basketball under their basket, baseline right. Colton Mitchell looking for a bounce pass. It comes to Mims. Mims puts up the jumper. It's not going to go. And I think did they have a shot clock violation?
I believe they did.
Okay, yeah. It took a little too long. I thought I heard the whistle or the buzzer, but I wasn't sure. Took just a second. So the Bengals, I think that's at least the second shot clock violation they forced today. 2:35 to go. Bengals have the ball with Griffin. Now Darling. Dylan Darling feeds it back. White on the right side. Kick it all the way across the floor to the near side corner. Connor Hollenbeck drove inside and he decided to pass it instead of shoot it. And then Dylan Darling trying to get the steal on Christian Gonzalez. Connor Hollenbeck is here and the coaches want him to attack and go. And that time he gave that up, and he just changed his mind at the last moment, and that created this up the floor, and then the foul by Dylan Darling. That's his first. And that's 6 on Idaho State. Here's Linhart. Linhart trying to back down A.J. Bergen. A.J. holds his ground, flop down, shot missed. Linhart with his own rebound, blocked by Daberco, and he controlled it out of midair. What a play by Blake Daberco, as Christian Gonzalez knocks the ball free and finally going to get the foul whistled as he was defending Dylan Darling. And for Christian Gonzalez, that's his first. Let's see if we can take a look. Yeah, there's the foul right there. I would love to see the replay of Blake Daberco's block shot down here on the other end, because that was athletic as can be.
Yes, it was. I would love to see that as well.
So we got a 1-on-1 opportunity coming up here for the Bengals. Dylan Darling. I was looking at Ryan Looney. Dylan Darling to shoot a 1-on-1 opportunity. Idaho State 10 of 11 from the free throw line here this afternoon. Trying to build on a 5-point lead, and that one will drop. So Dylan Darling with another ICCU free throw. He's got 8 points on the day, including a 3-point field goal and 3 of 3 from the line. We've got 2:05 left here in the first half, and the Bengals have their biggest lead of the basketball game of 6 points. And make it 7 as that second free throw rattled home for Dylan Darling. And Idaho State, they have done a nice job defensively. I know it's a high shooting percentage for the Vandals, but Idaho State's defense has been better than what it would look like if you look at the shooting percentage.
Yeah, most definitely. They came to play today.
Here is Tyler Linhart. He puts up a 3. Back iron, no. Rebound to the floor, and they're going to call a foul on Connor Hollenbeck on the loose ball, fouling Christian Gonzalez. And that'll be the second on Hollenbeck. And you can hear the Bengal faithful behind us. Not too happy with it. Let's see if we get a better look. So there's the miss by Linhart. Long rebound, and that usually creates some problems. Yeah, maybe. I mean, there was some contact there for sure.
Bengals fans did not like that call, though, as you mentioned.
Christian Gonzalez will go to the free throw line, shoots it at 77.6%. This is just a 1-on-1 chance. Just the 7th team foul on Idaho State. Gonzalez with the free throw knocks it down. And the Vandals are perfect from the line this afternoon. They are 4 of 4. So 32-26 with 106 seconds left here in the first half. As Christian Gonzalez lines up the second free throw, and that one good as well. A couple of our fans right behind us here, they were kind of chirping at one of our officials, and they actually got a reaction out of him. He turned and kind of chuckled. So there you go. Hey, officials have a sense of humor, too.
Exactly.
5-point lead for Idaho State. Dylan Darling handles, trying to drive against Julius Mims. Gets all the way underneath, comes to the corner. Here's a 3-point field goal, and it's Isaiah Griffin with his first MACU three-pointer, and the lead is 8 at 35-27. Mitchell drive, kick, three ball. Linhart rims out, no. Tip, no. Rebound, Jake O'Neal. Gets it to Jackson Green. He'll bring it over here, and up the left side comes Dylan Darling. Darling, watched closely by Colton Mitchell. Former AAU teammates and cohorts. Here is another jump shot. Isaiah Griffin. Isaiah Griffin now with 8 points in the half, and Idaho State has built the lead to 10.
Great shot right there by Isaiah Griffin.
37-27 as Idaho State's shooting touch has come back around, and their defense has been stellar all day. Here is Brickner. Brickner wants to drive, gets to the baseline, shot down there, leans in, shot blocked. That was blocked by Blake Daberco. The loose ball to O'Neal. He's bumped and fouled, and Idaho State has got all the momentum here. And let's check it. I think they're going to get Brickner with the foul, and it was Daberco with the block. And then just a little bit of a push as Isaiah Brickner picks up the foul, his second. And man, oh man, as Idaho State turned this thing around, it was at the 5:08 mark when they were down 4, and they started that 7-0 run. And they've just built on it from there. Now, Idaho did go up 23-21, but it's a 16-4 run since then. As Jake O'Neal to the free throw line here. And that one rims out. Jake O'Neal with 3 points today. He's got 2 shots here as the Bengals just went into the double bonus with 29.5 seconds left. If there's been a downside to Jake this year, he has struggled from the line at times. He's 67%. Misses them both here. And the rebound tip, and boy, that was going off of Brickner's head. He was smart to grab that because that rebound almost tipped off his head out of bounds to Idaho State.
Yeah, really heads-up play right there by Brickner.
Here's Colton Mitchell working against Dylan Darling. Darling, tight defense. Shot clock off. We're down to 10 and a half. Mitchell trying to size it up, and there's going to be a hand check foul on Dylan Darling, and that's going to be his second. And that's going to be 8 on Idaho State, and it'll be a 1-and-1. And Dylan Darling is talking with the official, saying, okay, what exactly did I do? Let's see if he kind of put a hand on him. Let's see. Maybe a little push there as Colton Mitchell will toe the free throw line, and he is a good one. Colton Mitchell cannot just shoot from outside. He is 91% from the stripe. Former state champion from Lake City High School in Coeur d'Alene makes the first one here. You cannot shoot a ball that purely and not have it go in. That is a great release and rotation on his shots. So 6.6 seconds here. Bengals will have the final opportunity in this half as Colton Mitchell makes both free throws. He's got 7 points. Mitchell on the season is averaging 10.7. So you can see he had a 32-point game, but he has been a little up and down. He only had 5 points at Weber on Thursday. So here come the Bengals, up by 8. Darling gets into the paint, tries to scoop it, draws the contact with 1 second left, and Dylan Darling will go to the free throw line. And they're going to get the foul on 22, Tyler Linhart, as Darling attacking off the dribble. Yeah, and he got banged. Actually, I think you might could have called that on Mims, but they went with Linhart. That's his first, and that's going to send Dylan Darling to the free throw line to shoot 2. First one up and good. Another ICCU free throw. And Dylan Darling now with 5, make it 10 points. He's already in double figures.
He's been really good from the free throw line today.
He really has, and all season long. He had a little stretch there late in the non-conference schedule where he had a couple of off games. But, boy, since then, he has really shot the ball well. And makes both of those ICCU free throws. And Bengals back up by 10. Dylan Darling in conference play, 79.7% from the line. Here is a heave from the back court. That will not go, and the Idaho State Bengals will go to their home locker room. They lead their upstate and in-state rival, the Idaho Vandals, 39-29 in there. And then the rest of the scoring, 2 points for Evan Otten, who battled foul trouble, and Jake O'Neal with 3. So it's going to be basketball to the Idaho Vandals here to start this second half as they shoot on our goal to the left. Here's Tyler Maruss. He has been kept off that three-point line today, has not really done the damage that he normally does. Colton Mitchell with a catch, wants to drive, gets into the paint and lays it off the glass. And for Colton Mitchell, that's point number 9 on the day. 39-31, Bengals by 8, and they have the ball. Here's Isaiah Griffin. Takes a handoff from Dylan Darling. Needs some help. Comes back to Dylan wide right in front of the Bengal bench. Looked inside for Jake O'Neal. Couldn't find it. Couldn't get it there. Now they'll swing it over to the angle left. Isaiah Griffin out on top. Hollenbeck. Feed it into Hollenbeck. He got pinned up, and they're going to call a walk on Connor Hollenbeck. And for Idaho State, that'll be turnover number 6. Turnovers even at 6 apiece now. So it'll be Jack Payne to play it in. We've played almost a minute here in the second half, as Julius Mims will take the basketball out on top for the Vandals and look for Payne. Trying to get a little bit of a screen. There's that lob, and they're going to get the bucket. And they're going to say, no, it was a hold before the play, before the shot. And I think they're going to get, Jake O'Neal. Yeah, they got Jake O'Neal with that foul. And for Jake, that is personal foul number 2, team foul number 1 on the Bengals here with 18:55 left in the basketball game. So it'll be Vandal basketball under their own basket on the baseline left. Near side of the floor with Colton Mitchell to trigger it in. There's Payne popping out, takes it, hands it back to Mitchell. Now a pass out between the rings to Christian Gonzalez. Gonzalez on top to Mims. Looking for a back cut. Here's Maruss. Tyler Maruss spots up that 3 ball off the back iron. High up in the air. Jake O'Neal is able to get that rebound. And Idaho State looking to build on an 8-point lead. Mims shuts down Isaiah Griffin. Got him in the air. Isaiah puts it up and in. Isaiah Griffin being aggressive against the little bigger player. Mims at 6'9's got 3 inches. Mims drives inside or gets a pass inside. Now they kick it. There's Maruss from the corner. That won't go. Ball kept alive. Tip. Maruss. Shot blocked by Otten, and they're going to call a foul on Evan Otten. That's his 3rd. Boy, I'll tell you, I want to see, because that was pretty clean up on top. They got him with the body a little bit. So that'll be the 3rd on Evan and the 2nd on Idaho State. Going to send Tyler Maruss to the free throw line for the first time today.
Not very happy with that foul call after that play right there.
He did have a lot of ball up top, but he did make a connection with the body down low, as Tyler Maruss, an 82% free throw shooter, makes the first of 2 chances here. So that's going to get Evan Otten back to the bench and Jackson Green back into the action. And Evan, with those 3 fouls, will have to sit for a while as Maruss hits them both. So 41-33, the lead at 8 for the Bengals, as Dylan Darling, slow waist high dribble across the timeline, goes to the left side. Hollenbeck. Here is Isaiah Griffin. Pull up jump shot. Good. Isaiah Griffin has brought his shooting touch today. He's got 12, and the Bengals go back up by 10.
Such a great athletic shot right there by Isaiah Griffin.
Mitchell drives, kicks to the corner, 3 ball. Gonzalez knocks it down. Christian Gonzalez for the Vandals with his first triple of the day. He's now got 7 on the game. 7 points total, including 2 of 2 from the line. So 43-36. And Ryan Looney exhorting his players defensively. Wasn't happy about something. Here is a jump shot in the paint. A little bit too long by Darling, off the heel. And Christian Gonzalez pushes it up the right side for Idaho. Vandals in the black uniforms with the gold numerals today. There's another 3 ball. That's long, not good. Rebound tipped around, came back out. Mitchell, catch, shoot 3. No, the rebound comes out of there to Dylan Darling. Darling keeps pushing it ahead into the front court. Got bumped a little bit, lost the handle, but regained control both with his body and the ball. So Darling trying to get it down on that block, trying to post up Jake O'Neal. Instead, they'll go to the corner, and that's Connor Hollenbeck. And when you need a little momentum swing, Connor Hollenbeck has the call. He hits the three-pointer. That's an MACU three-pointer and his 30th of the year. Bengals back up by 10 at 46-36. Gonzalez, little crossover, gets down the lane, and the shot blocked, but Hollenbeck's going to pick up the foul, and that's going to be his third, I think. Connor Hollenbeck left the ground, picks up the foul, and that's going to be 3 on Connor. And let's see. Yeah, I think if Connor stays down, maybe he's okay there, but definitely contact with the body. That's 3 fouls on Idaho State already here. Kind of what we saw in the first half on the reverse side. The Vandals picked up a lot of quick fouls.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, reverse right here now. Bengals are picking up fouls that don't necessarily want to be getting those, so.
Christian Gonzalez, again, 78% free throw shooter, makes that one, and on the day, he is 3 of 3 from the line. Going to get Blake Daberco into the game. So Hollenbeck with 3 and Otten with 3. Going to put a lot of pressure on Blake Daberco here over the next probably 10 minutes.
Yeah.
8 to 9 minutes anyway.
He's been able to show up with a couple of block shots, so good to see him out there again.
Gonzalez cashes in the back end of the 2-shot chance. Here is Dylan Darling. Darling across the timeline. Gets a screen from Daberco, now gets into the paint and kicks it off over here to the near side. Isaiah Griffin with a spin move, pull up, jump shot, in and out, no. Jake O'Neal with a rebound, puts it back up and had it blocked, and coming out of there with it are the Vandals. Mitchell will push it into the front court, picked up by Jake O'Neal, now gets free, lays it up off the glass and good. Colton Mitchell, he's in double figures with 11. You can't let him get going. He had 21, I think, in that win over Northern Colorado in the second half.
Yeah, once he gets going, it can be really hard to stop him, so it's going to be really important for the Bengals defense to come into play here. Jake
O'Neal from downtown hits his second Mountain America Credit Union three-pointer, and the Bengals lead swells back to 9 at 49-40. Mitchell watched by Darling. Splits 2 defenders, lost the handle on the ball, but regains control. Finds Maruss, now out Kyson Rose. He'll step back and shoot a 3, and that's not out of the ordinary for Kyson Rose. That's his 16th three-point field goal on the year. So Idaho State's lead trimmed back to half a dozen with 15-15 to go here in the game. Daberco on top. Down to Jake O'Neal on the block. Kick it back out. Here is Isaiah Griffin. Gets it to Darling. He'll work on the right wing side, and a hand check foul going to be called against the Vandals, Colton Mitchell. And for Colton Mitchell, personal foul number 1, team foul number 1, and that brings us to our first time out of the second half. 15 minutes, 7 seconds left. It's Idaho State 49, and the Vandals of the University of Idaho 43. We're back after this timeout on KISH time, and Colton Mitchell, number 14 for the Idaho Vandals. He is a product of Northern Idaho, Lake City High School. He started all 22 games so far this season for the Vandals. Career high 32 points against Pacific, and here on the afternoon, Colton Mitchell has knocked down 11. So he's been productive for the Vandals here this afternoon, but they still trail Idaho State 49-43. As Idaho State has the ball with Jackson Green. Give and go, wide open, lay it up. Dylan Darling on the left side. That play was drawn up during the timeout and executed perfectly.
That was drawn up perfectly and executed perfectly.
Bengals now 5 of 8 from the floor to start the second half. Here's Gonzalez. That 3 ball is good. And Christian Gonzalez is a guy that can get hot. He's got 12 in the game, 8 here in the half, 2 3-pointers. Last year in the loss at Moscow, of the last 12 points the Vandals put up, Gonzalez scored 7 of them.
Wow. So when he gets hot, he can get hot.
He really can get going. Here's Jackson Green. Drive to the baseline. Bring it back out. 13 to shoot. Dylan Darling from downtown. He answers the 3-point field goal by Gonzalez. And it is a 16-point afternoon now for Dylan Darling. And the Bengals go back up by 8 at 54-46. You really can't understate the importance of this game for Idaho State in the Big Sky Conference standings. As Colton Mitchell goes inside on a late whistle, and they're going to say he got hit in the head. They're going to call the foul on Jackson Green with his second. Jackson Green trying to come and help, and yeah, kind of reached up there, caught him side of the head. So it'll be a couple of free throws here for Colton Mitchell, who on the day is 2 for 2. And as we mentioned before, a good free throw shooter at just under 91%. And that one finds the bottom of the net. So the Bengal lead 7 at 54-47. Julius Mims back into the lineup for Alex Pribble, along with Tyler Linhart. Linhart will replace Jack Payne. Payne has been really the hot guy for the Vandals since conference play started, but today just 1 field goal and 5 points. Second free throw, and that one good for Colton Mitchell. So on the day now, he's got 13. Darling front court. Idaho State with a 6-point lead. Here's Daberco, I should say, between the rings at about 22 feet. Comes over here to the right wing. Darling thought about a three. Now gets a screen from Gonzalez. Mims jumps out on a hedge, but Dillon able to keep control of the basketball. 9 to shoot. Isaiah Griffin handles on the left side. Back out to Darling. Gets a screen. Here is another 3-ball, and it's good. Dylan Darling. 8 in the half, 19 in the game. And the Bengals are up 9, and they have executed their offense so well since about the 4:20 mark of that first half.
Yes, they have.
Here's Mitchell with one high off the glass with a little baby hook from the right side. Not good. Rebound Green. Into the front court, Dylan Darling. Darling wants to back down Gonzalez. Gets him down there. Mims waits. Now Dylan brings it back out. And a 3-ball put up that looks long by Isaiah Griffin. The ball poked away from Mims, but came into the hands of Gonzalez. Quick outlet ahead. Maruss thought about a three. Now he'll drive, hang, shot not good. Good defense by Daberco. He left his feet, but he stayed straight up and down, and the shot was short. On the end, Jake O'Neal draws the foul. He won't get the bucket, but he'll go to the line. And they're going to get the foul on Julius Mims, and that's his second. And Jake just taking his quickness against the bigger Mims. So Julius Mims with his second. That's 2 on the Vandals. And it will be Jake O'Neal to the free throw line. He's 0 for 2 today from the stripe. Checking in with 6 points. And make it 7 as he makes an ICCU free throw. Idaho Central Credit Union contributing $5 to student athletes with every made free throw this year. Dylan Darling comes out. A.J. Bergen checks in. So it'll be A.J. at the point. My guess is this is going to be about a 2-minute little rest.
Yep.
Because you've got the under 12 timeout coming up. And no free throw. So they'll waive that free throw attempt off. It was a lane violation by Jackson Green. So that attempt should officially come off the books. So a 10-point lead at 58-48. Idaho State on top. Vandals with the ball. Linhart on top. Couple of dribbles. Wants to work against Jackson Green. Comes off a screen. Has the ball knocked free. Bengals fight for it, and Jackson Green comes away with it. Gets it to A.J. Bergen. Yeah, this was a very smart move by Ryan Looney. He can sit Dylan Darling for about a minute or so, or 49 seconds of clock time, and then the timeout. It'll be a nice little 3 to 5 minute rest here. Here's A.J. Bergen. Whip
Keeping
it over.
fresh.
Jake O'Neal for 3, and he got it. Jake O'Neal, an MACU three-pointer. Mountain America Credit Union, helping guide members through life's financial journey and contributing $50 to Operation Warm in East Idaho for each Bengal three-pointer this season. And now Jake O'Neal on the other again gets tagged with a foul, his third, and that is 4. Make it 5 on Idaho State as a team here in the half. Still just 2 fouls against the Vandals thus far. The non-shooting foul. First time we're going to see Jaden Brown today. Jaden Brown, redshirt freshman out of Pullman, Washington. He's familiar with the University of Idaho campus.
That's for sure.
Jaden did not get into the action on Thursday night, but he has seen a fair amount of time this season. This will be appearance number 18 on the year. Mitchell brings it over. Christian Gonzalez gets into the paint. Tough pull-up jumper, good. Christian Gonzalez is feeling it now. That's 10 points in the half, 14 in the game.
He's definitely starting to heat up in the second half here.
Bengals have it with Daberco. Now Jackson Green. Jaden Brown. Over to A.J. Bergen. And here is Isaiah Griffin driving to the bucket, scoring. Isaiah Griffin is so good when he is aggressive off the drive, and especially on the baseline. And Idaho State's lead has swelled to 13, their biggest of the day at 63-50. 11:10 to go in the game. Here is Gonzalez, kick to the corner. Tyler Linhart, he'll nail a triple from the near side corner. He's got 6 points on the day, his first 3-point field goal. And Idaho State's lead stays at 10 at the 11-minute mark. Next stoppage of play will bring us to a media timeout, and there it is. There's the foul, and it's going to go against the Vandals, Colton Mitchell. And for Mitchell, that's his second, third on the Vandals. And with 10:55 left in the game, we've got a timeout. It's Idaho State 63. University basketball support comes from Lithia, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram of Pocatello, assisting the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Idaho. With every assist the Bengals make this season, Lithia will make a donation to the club. So it will be Idaho State basketball. Dylan Darling back into the game. And we want to make a correction. The board had showed Jake O'Neal with 4. He only has 3. So Hollenbeck with 3, Otten with 3 personal fouls, and Jake O'Neal with 3 personal fouls. And Idaho State shooting the ball well in this second half. 69%. They're 9 of 13 from the floor and 5 of 6 from the arc. And here is another 3-point try, and it's good by Dylan Darling. And the Bengals are lighting it up from deep. That's 22 points on the day for Dylan Darling, and the lead back to 13. Far side corner, Christian Gonzalez, his 3-ball, circles out. Rebound, Jake O'Neal. O'Neal on the day now with 8 rebounds. If that had not updated, it might be 7. And 10 points, so Jake going for his 11th double-double. Here is Darling again, 4-3. This one long, not good. The rebound comes out there to Tyler Linhart. Bengals lead stays at 13, though, at 66-53. We're halfway through the second half. Mitchell holds the ball wide left as A.J. Bergen keeps an eye on him. Give it up to Rose on top. Kyson Rose turns, faces, kicks, corner. Gonzalez, 3. No. Rebound, A.J. Bergen. Bergen with the outlet, and slowly into the front court is going to be Dylan Darling. Look, what Ryan Looney is telling his guys right now, we don't have to rush, right? Under 9, well, now 9:40 to go in the game. Here is A.J. Bergen. He thought about a 3. Now he'll take it and make it. A.J. Bergen, he's got 9. He's got 3 3-pointers on the day. A.J. Bergen is 3 of 4 from downtown, and the Bengals are up 16. Gonzalez drive, baseline good. Tell you what, I like Christian Gonzalez. He is just a real gritty kind of player. And got a timeout taken here. This is going to be a 30-second timeout. Or actually, it's going to be a full per game. If AJ can do that, and the other guys do what they do, and they get contributions like Isaiah Griffin or Jackson Green earlier today, this Idaho State team, look, the Big Sky Conference is extremely, there's a lot of parity this year in the Big Sky Conference. And the Bengals can be right at the top, as could the Vandals. It's just a win here or there.
Yep, exactly.
Idaho State with the ball. Dylan Darling, Hollenbeck, over to A.J. Bergen. 13 to shoot. Just went under 9 to go in the game. Dylan Darling gets free, gets into the paint, gives it off. Here's Jake O'Neal, a one-hand push from 14 feet. Jake O'Neal, he is now, let's see, that is 9, 10, 12 points on the day for Jake O'Neal. JoJo Anderson drives for the Vandals, brings it back out to Kyson Rose. Here is Brickner, I should say, Isaiah Brickner, and they're going to call a hook and a foul, and that's going to be on Connor Hollenbeck, and that's his 4th. Connor Hollenbeck's had a couple of those today, just kind of light contact fouls. But again, that's one where Connor just went too far out. He hedged too hard and made contact, and that's a foul.
Yep.
So a 16-point Idaho State lead here at 71-55 with 8 minutes, 30 seconds left in the basketball game. JoJo Anderson will drive off a screen up on top. Jackson Green goes down. Isaiah Brickner from a three ball from the corner. That would not go. O'Neal kept the rebound alive. The Bengals controlled it. Now Dylan Darling comes to the front court. So Jackson Green came back in there when Hollenbeck picked up his 4th foul. Dylan Darling feeding it inside, and a flush with 2 hands by Evan Otten. He's only got 4 points today, but that's a momentum swinger there as the Bengals go up by 18 at 73-55. Jack Payne, right wing, three, short off the front. Rebound to the floor and a whistle, and there's going to be a foul, I believe, on Kyson Rose. And that's going to take us to a timeout, but let's look at this replay off of this. That big dunk there by Evan Otten took it right at Kyson Rose. And now with 7 minutes, 50 seconds left, it is the Idaho State Bengals 73. The Idaho Vandals 55. We're back after this timeout on KISU-FM and ESPN+. In the game here in Pocatello, Idaho, and Idaho State playing in their home gymnasium. Reed Gym have an 18-point lead. And we're coming up on the 5:29 mark left in the half, which reminds us support comes from Ideal, Idaho's college savings program. Ideal is a tax-advantaged, state-sponsored savings plan that helps families pay for the cost of college. Information and full disclosure statement can be found online, including risk terms and conditions at idsaves.org. Bengals try to get the dunk from Evan Otten. He can't quite finish it. About the only thing ISU offense has done wrong here in this half. Nice pocket pass, and Evan Otten comes away with a block and another late whistle. Well, let's check this one, as they're going to say it was a push. Evan Otten with a nice recovery. I think that's pretty straight up, but Evan Otten is going to pick up personal foul number 4, so he and Hollenbeck will have their 4th foul. That is now 7. The Vandals still have 2 fouls to give with 7:26 to go before Idaho State goes to the free throw line on the 1-and-1s. Here is Julius Mims. His first trip to the free throw line today is a successful one as he goes 1 of 1. Colton Mitchell back into the game. As coming out of there will be JoJo Anderson. So it'll be Julius Mims. Second free throw finds the bottom of the net. 73-57, a 16-point Idaho State lead. Mims out of Billings, Montana, originally played at North Idaho College for a couple of years. Second year here with the University of Idaho. Darling looking inside, nothing there. Here's Daberco to Jackson Green. How important have Jackson Green and Blake Daberco been off the bench today with Hollenbeck and Otten being in foul trouble off and on?
They have been huge for this Bengals team today.
Here's Dylan Darling, and there is a blocking foul going to be whistled against Julius Mims, and that's his 3rd. That's just the 5th on the Vandals. And that's just quickness beating size. Now, Mims just couldn't quite keep up. So it'll be Bengal basketball. Isaiah Griffin checks back into the game. So for Idaho State, it'll be Jake O'Neal, Dylan Darling, Jackson Green, Isaiah Griffin, and Blake Daberco on the floors. We just went under 7 to go. Bengals by 16. Here's Daberco, left alone. The 3-ball, good! Blake Daberco with a Mountain America Credit Union 3-pointer. Just his 4th of the year, but a big one as Idaho State goes back up by 19.
He's been huge from a defensive perspective, but right there we saw him hit a 3, and he's contributing on both sides of the ball now for the Bengals.
Here's Mitchell. He'll work out on top, then swing a pass over. Rickner dumps a pass off, and Mims could not handle that. And so it'll be Idaho State basketball. Blake Daberco had some stretches early in the fall camp where Ryan Looney said, you know, if you'd have been at practice, you would have thought he was maybe the best guy on the floor. And he's shown flashes of that, but just not consistently. And he keeps a ball alive there, tracked down by Jackson Green. And with 6 minutes to go, Idaho State trying to build on a 19-point lead here. Their defense today has been spectacular. Here's Darling, spin to the glass, layup, no, but he's fouled and he'll go to the free throw line. And the foul will go to Mims. That's his 4th. Let's check that. Nice attack there on that spin move. He got by Lynn Hart and then the foul. We saw that spin move against Sam Stockton on Thursday night early. And such great handles by Dylan Darling.
He's so athletic. He's just so fun to watch.
And to think, I mean, he was nearly a Bengal right out of high school. As his first miss of the check be Takai Hardy and for the Vandals of the University of. But Dylan Darling had such a great state tournament in the year. Washington They made him an freshman year there, and then his sophomore year, and decided to transfer out. He was committed to come here, and Ryan Looney knows that Spokane area so well where he grew up. And, boy, what a great pickup for the Idaho State Bengals, Dylan Darling. Although he missed a pair of free throws there, the lead is still 19. Here is Linhart, 5:35 to go. Gets inside, and that shot goes down. But I'll tell you what, again, the guy making the play and making it tough was Blake Daberco.
He's all over the court today.
He really is. He has been huge for Idaho State off the bench. Bench points, 22-16 now. I'm reading that. Oh, no, I'm reading that wrong. I'll check it in a second. Bengals had a huge edge in bench points, and they still do. It was 18-9 on that last timeout. Dylan Darling says, hey, I might have missed a couple of free throws, but I still got the range for the Mountain America Credit Union three-pointer. Dylan Darling. And there's going to be a blocking foul whistled against Isaiah Griffin. No? Blake Daberco. Let's check that three ball from Dylan Darling. I mean, look at him shoot this. And watch what happens when it goes in. And look at the bench. He just turns and looks, gives graduate assistant Naveed Hussein a high, kind of a little slap of theirs. It was almost like that Michael Jordan shrug of the shoulder thing back in the day. So the foul went to Daberco. The free throw is good by Colton Mitchell. So Blake Daberco has fouled out. No, he's not fouled out. I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, that's just his first foul. Pardon me, I was looking at the wrong one. Colton Mitchell steps up, makes a pair of free throws here. So he's 4 of 4 from the line in the half, 6 of 6 on the day. And he's got 15 points. An 18-point Idaho State lead, 79-61. Looked into the paint, nothing there. Swing it over. Jackson Green wide left. 4:40 left. 12 to shoot for Idaho State. Dylan Darling. Jake O'Neal wants to drive. Now kicks it off. Dylan Darling, step back. Deep three! Are you kidding me? Dylan Darling with 28 points. He had a career-high 29. Somebody's making a big for Big Sky Conference Player of the Week.
Yup.
To the bucket, shot good as Colton Mitchell is going to get the layup off the attack, off the dribble. And a timeout going to be taken here by Alex Pribble, a 30-second timeout. A 19-point Idaho State lead at 82. What is it? Starch Madness, they call it. Starch Madness. The Big Sky Conference men's and women's basketball championships. And if you have not gone to that Big Sky Conference tournament in Boise, I would encourage you to go over it for a day, for all 5 or 6 days. It is a great atmosphere. So Idaho State up by 19 at 82-63. Dylan Darling handles the ball out on top. Mitchell jumps out with a little hand check. 15 to shoot. Just trying to kill some time here, let the clock run down. Here comes Daberco, wants the screen and gets it. Dylan Darling drives inside, throws up the prayer. Daberco had the rebound, and it came over. It got knocked out of his hands and then deflected off of Jake O'Neal. So with 3 minutes, 50 seconds left, Connor Hollenbeck will come back in. But I got to tell you, Blake Daberco has been huge today for Idaho State off the bench.
He's definitely stepped up in some big moments in this game.
Here's Evan Otten guarding out on top. Back over Linhart. He got Hollenbeck in the air, then pulls up and hits the two-pointer. Tyler Linhart on the day now with 10 points in double figures. Idaho State continues to shoot the ball well here in the half. 67%. They're 16 of 24. They are 10 of 12 for 83% from beyond the three-point line. Inside they go, and another dunk by Evan Otten. Otten's got 6 points on the day. And the Bengal lead is back to 19 at 84-65 as we approach 3 minutes left here. Maruss, Hardy, he just holds it out on top, looking over to the left side. Gets Maruss. Maruss wants to drive, does to the baseline, cut off, kick it back out. Payne, catch, shoot, 3 ball off the mark. Rebound tipped away from Otten by Hardy, and another 20 seconds for the Idaho Vandals. Mitchell pulls up his dribble, now brings it over to Maruss. Maruss drives from the top of the circle, leans in, and gets the bucket. Probably a good no call both ways. For Tyler Maruss, just his second field goal of the day.
Yeah, he's been a little quiet.
Yeah, he averages 11 points on the season per game. And as we said, top percentage three-point shooter, 0 for 4 from three-point range today for Tyler Maruss. Looking inside again and trying to get it into Evan Otten. Colton Mitchell's going to be whistled for the holding foul, and for Mitchell, that's his third. And that's now 7. So got substitutions here as Jackson Green and A.J. Bergen come in. It'll be Evan Otten towing the free throw line today. And Evan Otten, he has fought foul trouble today, but he has 6 points, 2 big lob-type dunks, and he's 2 of 2 from the stripe, which has not been his forte this season. Deathly quiet. Free throw, rims out, not good. Front end of the 1-and-1 missed. Bengals get the rebound, though. Still haven't seen an attendance number here this afternoon. We're looking for that. Pretty good crowd on hand here with the Vandals in town. A lot of local Idaho fans coming into Pocatello. Here's Jackson Green. His 3 ball's an air ball. He doesn't shoot a whole lot of those, but getting up against the shot clock a little bit. He's just 1 of 5 now is Jackson Green. 1 minute, 57 seconds left, and Idaho State up by 17 here. So the Vandals' struggles on Saturdays, especially on the road after Thursday wins, is going to continue here. It would appear, unless they make a miraculous run. Here's Lindhart, wants to drive the baseline, lost the handle on it, regains control. Good defense by Jackson Green. Now it's going to be JoJo Anderson, and then a blocking foul on Jackson Green. That's his third. That's 8. Make it 9. They're going to get Connor Hollenbeck back in there. So Connor Hollenbeck, and there's the foul you can see on Jackson Green.
He knew it too.
Yep, he did.
He knew it.
Jackson Green has had a great game for Idaho State today. 7 points, 5 of 5 from the line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And it'll be JoJo Anderson. Or check it. That is Jaden Stevens, number 3. Got blocked off there. Couldn't see him right away. So Jaden Stevens to the free throw line. Makes the first. Make it a 16-point Idaho State lead. And the Vandals trying to cut into it. Jaden Stevens just 60% from the line on the year, 6 of 10. But those two look pretty good. And he will check out, as checking into the game for the first time today is Miles Clapper. He's out of Hillsborough, California, a 6'3" redshirt freshman guard, averaging 3 points a game. And about 9.5, or make it 12.5 minutes. So we're under 90 to go here. As Jaden Brown will check in. Looks like Joey Madimba will get into the action along with Quentin Meza for Idaho State if there's a stoppage here. And you might see Ryan Looney call a timeout if need be to get those guys in. Down to 2 to shoot. A.J. Bergen, 4-3 against the shot clock, and A.J. Bergen with his 4th three-pointer. He's got 12, and that is a 26-point weekend for A.J. Justin Graham, a 6'7" senior forward. Going to see Jaden Brown, who's already been in there today. Joey Madimba out of Mansfield, Texas, a 6'5" junior guard transfer. And they're going to call a foul. Oh, it was a shot clock adjustment is what they were doing there. Something was off on the shot clock. So they're going to put 25 on the shot clock. Here is Anderson. Get it out there to Hardy. JoJo Anderson, kick over to Jaden Stevens. And inside the shot, blocked away. And that was turnover by the Vandals. Jaden Brown has the basketball. 30 seconds to go. Looks down low for Justin Graham. Nobody there. Meza has it. Kicks it over to Joey Madimba. Madimba wants to drive. Gets to the glass. Has his shot rejected out there by Jaden Stevens. And I misspoke earlier. It was JoJo Anderson to the free throw line earlier there. Got the numbers crossed up. Going to have a foul whistled on Justin Graham as he attacked, or as Takai Hardy attacked on the other end for the Vandals. As we've got some new faces in here. Takai Hardy looking for his first points of the basketball game. Hasn't been to the free throw line much this year, just 5 of 11 for 45.5%. Bengals comfortably on top, 87-71. So the last 15 seconds is really just going to decide the final differential as the front end of the 1-and-1 missed. Madimba with the rebound for the Bengals. They'll have to get it into the front court, and that's going to do it. And the Idaho State Bengals have done what they set out to do this afternoon. That was to continue their dominance over the Vandals and stretch their home win streak to 4. Your final score here from Reed Gymnasium on the campus of Idaho State University. It is the Idaho State Bengals 87 and the Idaho Vandals 71. Taylor, what did we say? Idaho State in their last 2 home games had scored 50 points in each